So I made it through this tough night with drunk crackheads in the street. And the next day, I'm there meditating all day. I have a bunch of money, but everything is closed. I can't find a place to sleep. And just as it's about to get dark, maybe 5 in the afternoon, it starts raining. And I'm like, okay. So I go under a nearby roof and I keep meditating. And then this couple comes up to me and they say, "What do you need? What do you need, friend? Like, how can we help you?" And I said, "I need a place to stay." And they're like, "Oh, you need a place to stay? There's a hostel open over here. Yeah, don't say anything, but yeah, there's one open. We're gonna take you to it." And so they take me to the hostel. They pay for the room, which is 15 soles, and so they pay for that night. And then I have all this money I'm making for meditating, and so no problem for me to keep paying this and be free and be able to go to the city without anyone saying I'm going to infect them with COVID or whatever it is. And so my life took off. I felt so free within this whole pandemic where everyone thought that they were dying, that everyone is going to die. And here I am walking around without a mask, meditating in the streets, going around, getting all the fruits and vegetables I want, making salads, reading books that I had a Spanish English Bible that someone gave me. And so I'm reading the Bible just to learn Spanish, just reading the English side and reading the Spanish side and working on my Spanish and having a great time essentially, but wanting to continue on my trip to Pucallpa. And so I'm here in this hostel for a month and a half, maybe a little more. And every 2 weeks they keep saying, yeah, the quarantine's going to stop. And then, of course, 2 weeks more. And the owner of the hostel, he'd moved me into a cheaper room. I was only paying 12 soles a night, which is nothing in comparison to monthly rent in Canada, which is up to, I'd say the lowest I could find was something like $20 a day, maybe $15 a day, which is somewhere around 50 or 60 soles a day for a contract rent. This was daily. I could leave any day I want. And so the owner of the hostel is saying, no, just wait 2 weeks more, just wait 2 weeks more. And in the end, the last time was May 11th. They said the quarantine was going to end May 11th of 2020. And I said, if it doesn't end this time, I've seen people hitchhiking. I've seen people coming through the city, and I think I can just go hitchhiking as well, and I can make it to Pucallpa even in the quarantine, and everything's going to be good. And the owner of the hostel was saying to me, no, you should just stay, because I guess he wanted my business. I guess he did feel somewhat worried for me. And in the end, May 11th came around, the quarantine didn't end. I grabbed all my stuff and I started hitchhiking to Pucallpa, which if I would have gotten a bus ticket or something, which was very expensive, it would have costed, I don't know how much. It would have taken me something like 24 hours in bus or in a car ride to get there, or 20 hours from where I was. And in the end, I start hitchhiking and I make it there in 3 days in the quarantine. And I had called the guy, the Shippybone native who had invited me. It had been over 2 months now. I asked him if things were still okay throughout the quarantine to receive me, and he said, of course. He said, come whenever you can. And I don't think he was expecting me to come, because when I got to Pucallpa and I called him, he's like, really, you're here? And I'm like, yep. And we met up, and in the end, he said he was going to buy all of my stuff, and he starts asking me for money. And I say, it's cool, man. I just need to go meditate in the streets and I can get money for us and I can support us both. It's no problem. And he said, you can't meditate in the streets here. People are really dangerous. They could potentially kill you. So just stay in the house, give me all the money you have, and I'll take you to my uncle's place and we can drink ayahuasca.